Welcome. Okay, we are recording. Guys, we had a little problem here, so I'm recording this, and for some reason, YouTube, it's not working, but here we are, and I'm truly honored that you're here. And those of you that don't know me, I'm Patricia Misakian, and this live, we are going to talk about the visibility and persecution code. So grab your popcorn because this is going to be very, very powerful. And I thank you for being here. And anytime you show up, what happens in those sessions, you are contributing for the field. And every time there is a group that gathers, it's like I kind of pick up the energy and then I can bring exactly what you need. So thank you for being here. And my intention with this live, we're going to connect deeper to what are the persecution codes and how they affect your visibility. They actually affect many areas of your life. But when I was guided to offer this immersion, those of you that don't know, the reason I'm doing this live is because I got so many questions about the upcoming immersion. And so I wanted to do a live to teach you about the persecution codes and how you can start, being aware of them, and that alone start making shifts for your field. And of course, those of you that want to go deeper into 2 powerful days of immersion, we're going to go deeper into the aspects of the persecution code. We're going to connect with powerful archetypes. It's 2 days of powerful healing and transformation to activate your next level of visibility. No matter where you are in regards to visibility, there is always a next step. So how the persecution codes can show up, right? Have you ever noticed how you were sabotaging yourself and then you're regretting it later? Sorry, my dog is like popping up under the table here. And many times it starts with like small things. Like you say you go, let's say you have an online business, you want to do a live once a week, and then you don't. Right? Or you say you're going to ask for a raise and then you don't. Or you say you're going to, every time you have a desire, then your intuition shares something with you. And you wanted to take action on that and you don't, and you talk yourself out of it. And that's what I'm talking about. And the persecution codes are directly connected to that. They're directly connected to prosperity, to how you show up, your level. But the reason that visibility had to be the first one is because it will affect everything, right? So it's a piece of the puzzle. And then many times, or for example, someone says, post in a group, I wanted to, I'm looking for someone that does exactly what you do. And then you don't say that you can help them, right? So these are the ways that you sabotage. You stay quiet and, you learn. So many people come to me because they had all these certifications, but they don't have a business yet. They don't have clients. So if you don't have a business, you have a hobby, right? So in most of the cases, we change that when you wanted to be a practitioner, because there is so all these years, and this is something that landed for me today, actually. All these years I've been working on helping my clients with visibility. There are so many clients that are like, Patricia, before I work with you, I could not even show up in a live, right? And so this is something that I've been working with so many people. However, right now, more than ever, we need our healers, our change makers, all of us that are here for this, all these movements that the world are going through, like started a while ago. But so what I find to be true is that so many people that I get called, that show up, that are magnetized for this body of work that I share, is because you already came before your times. but you came when the world wasn't ready for you. And those are the times where the world judged you, the world persecute you, right? That you've suffered this persecution. And for so many of us, we came ahead of our times. Now is our time, but so many of us came before to prepare humanity for where we are today. So the work you did then, it helped us where we are today. However, the world wasn't ready for you. And when they were not ready for you, what they did, what people do when they are facing powerful women, powerful people, right? They try to put a lid on you. They judge you. They gather people against you. They gather people that put you on a fire or take all your riches or throw you in a, separate you from your family. And those are the times that we make soul agreements that we close ourselves off. And if you're here, this is your time. This is your soul calling for more visibility. And no matter where you are today, so many people that come to me, they are already very visible, but they are ready for the next level. And that means that there is some persecution codes that needs to be released in order for you to fully embody all your gifts and all your light for what you're here to do. And what happened is those deep, almost like invisible imprints keep you shrinking, even when your soul is ready to lead, is ready to expand, right? So what exactly are the persecution codes? The persecution codes are memories in your field from this lifetime and from other lifetimes, from you or from your ancestors. And they affect many areas of your life. I started touching upon that a little before, right? But all these areas, the core of it is the risk connected to visibility, because there are agreements that so many of us did that be seen equals to be judged, to be exposed, to be rejected, to be punished, to be canceled, right? And then the body holds that information. Even when in your mind, you're like, yeah, let's do all this, but then you don't, right? And is in the level of expansion that you're ready, that you're holding yourself back, right? And so, and the way that show up, for example, is, translate this to whatever it is that you do in life. If you have your own business, some people, they start getting with cold sweats before they go live, or they need to go to the bathroom or before they go speak in a big group, or if you work for a company and you need to present, right? So there are so many ways that can shift when you clear those persecution codes, because you show up more aligned with your true power. You allow that part of you to be seen, right? The visibility, the persecution codes can show up when you're charging for your service, when you're not owning your value, or you undercharge yourself, or you're overcharging and then you don't have any clients. That's also a way that the persecution codes can show up for you, right? And it's not lack of strategy, it's lack of energetic alignment, right? So there is always the next level. It's, in the analogy, it would be the same as, trying to run your car with your brakes up, right? The soul is ready, but the body breaks it down, because your mind commands the body to stay put, right? And how can this be manifested? You're preparing to show up, and then you get sick on whenever you needed to go somewhere, or some of your children get sick, or the car breaks, right? So those are things that can take your frequency, your energy to misalignment. But when you see it, you don't let it go there, right? So this Monday, my husband goes to like a practice, and then like a guitar practice, and then he calls me like 11 p.m. that someone crashed onto our car. He was driving, someone crashed onto him, right? So when you clear on that do not affect us. We're like, okay, let's see whatever we need to do. We need to go to the police to say what happened, and see how much it will cost to fix the car, done. It, there is no charge to those things anymore, right? You do whatever you need to do, but you no longer sabotage yourself. You develop your emotional intelligence so you can take care of everything, right? So the fear of people judge you, that's how it can show up, right? And I remember a little story. I remember one time I was the very beginning of my business. I remember one person like judge my accent, right? So we were like in a mastermind or something. She was like, well, we should hire someone to do your visualizations for you. And I'm like, well, but so what's the point? Right? And actually, that judgment actually empowered me to actually like, you know what? It's because I have an accent that my sessions are deeper, because my clients, they actually pay more attention, so they are able to go deeper and to receive the healing at a deeper level. So when those persecution codes are not running your life, you get to determine how you respond to situations in a way that is empowering for you. So everything, and you actually translate everything that at this moment may be asking you to hide, or maybe creating the scenario for you to hide consciously or unconsciously, you actually, that comes down. And nothing gets in your way. And it's that good. And it's going to be that powerful, our 2 days immersion, right? So it's time to shift that. And here is why, as I promised in this live, we're going to talk a little bit about the Akashic records and how it is all connected. The persecution codes, the Akashic records, and there are many people that may talk about a different version of the persecution codes. It's a big word for me. But my angle is through the Akashic records, like everything that I do is through the lenses of the Akashic records. So those of you that are completely new here, what are the Akashic records? The Akashic records are simply the collection of all your thoughts, emotions connected to the memories that you live in this lifetime, in past lifetimes. If you believe, if you don't believe, that's all good, because we still go around it. Past lifetimes, and also the energetic imprint from your ancestors, because that energy is passed to you too. Those in our lineage, they experience the persecution codes that also pass by you. And in this lifetime, you may have experienced situations where you were judged or you punished, and whenever that happens, it just touches that hurt created a long time ago, when you came before your time. And this immersion, we're going to go through the root. We're going to go through the first persecution codes. And when you start, you can see my hand here, those of you in the Instagram, because I started there, and we started in there, and we start, spiraling to now and clearing everything in a way for you show up, so that those of you that are meant to be supported by you can find you. It's not like you going after. And there is also like this level of magnetism that awakens for you when you clear those persecution codes, because that interference is no longer there. This particular topic of visibility, we're going to work directly with your third chakra also, where you hold your perspective, your paradigms of hierarchy in your life, right? And where you putting something or someone in a pedestal, and we're going to clear that out so you can align with these eye-to-eye situations, especially from your deepest desires. So I once had a client that she had invested so much money in so many certifications, so many trainings. She was a graduated, like, she does a technique called constellation, theta healing, access, which everything you could think. She didn't have Akashic records, and that's how we met, because she signed up for my Akashic record certification. That was a while ago, but I see that as a pattern, because there are many clients that kind of follow the same pattern as this client. But she was like this walking, like, knowledge, and she learned so much. She spent years and years and years learning those skills, but never put into practice. So she was the best kept secret, right? And so it's my honor that he actually shifted when she went through the certification program, because in that training at that time, I gave her a session. And when I did her session, I actually saw that she suffered judgment and persecution in one of her past lives. And we did a process that I teach, which is a gift retrieval for her. And we broke that vow for her. And once we cleared that memory, she started to show up. She couldn't bring herself up to start social media or any of that. So she started to show up. She started to record videos, and her life started changing. She started attracting clients. And so many people that I seen through the last 11 years of teaching our Akashic Record certification, there is something that happens. And I don't know if it's the way that I created the program, because you start practicing, and in order for you to graduate, you actually have to have paid clients. So most of my clients, one of the things, most testimonials like go around to, I feel empowered. I can show up now. I'm attracting clients. I'm seeing the transformation in these clients' lives. And it's all connected to the persecution code. So it's very interesting that all these years I've been, working around the persecution code. But right now I'm feeling the call to have this immersion, to go to directly work with them, because many of you are, may not be in the right fit for our Akashic certification, but we can help you to clear that, so you can be more visible, so you can show up in your full power, in your full light, and bring what you came here to bring. And so how these, how are those immersions designed? They are created, they're 2 days of immersion, and we have 4 blocks, like it's 3 hours in the morning, 3 hours in the afternoon. We have a 1 hour break for lunch. We start, and I may be wrong, but I believe it's in the page, but I think starts at 8 a.m. Eastern. That's when we start, Saturday and Sunday. And so there are 4 blocks where we go through persecution codes. We go through the archetype that is going to support you in visibility, which is the lion archetype. And so we go through your lineage, and then we go connect to your, we're going to align with the visibility identity of you, your future version, of fully embodying your visibility. So this is going to be life changing, especially because we are working in this energetic field, and everyone that is going to be there, it's contributing for the group, because there is this beautiful thing that happens. Although this one we do have a theme of visibility, but there is something deeper that is being built. So this is what is going to be. And I don't know if if for those of you that are here live, if you have questions, feel free to leave your questions now. I could not make YouTube work, so I'm gonna upload this video, and those of you that, I'm sorry, that was meant to be here on YouTube, but the link didn't work. And so I wanted to honor the time, and that's what I had to do. So I'll send it for you later. But so many people too ask me, is going to be a replay, right? And what happens is there will be a replay for a few days. This is a container that if I tell you, if I give you a replay forever, what happened, you're never going to go through the replay. So it's a 7-day container. I invite you to be there live. If you cannot, for some reason, be there live, you need to watch and receive the healings within 7 days. And they're going to be as powerful, that is if you're live. So, and besides that, in a few days, our first session is on the 3rd. We start on the 2nd. No, in the 3rd, I'm right, third Saturday. So the first session is on Saturday, the 3rd, 12 days before, which I think is the 20th. On the 20th or 21st, you're going to start receiving daily activations. And those daily activations, I connect to the collective of those that are there. So what does that mean? If you enroll 2 days before, you're not going to have access to these activations because you're not there, right? So the activations are created as for those that are already enrolled. So if you haven't enrolled and if you're waiting, don't, because 2 things. The price is going up as we get closer to the event, and also the activations start being dropped in the group, and they will start in a few days from today. So get in the group. There are 2 groups you can choose, because there are, for me, it doesn't matter. Some people there'll be the people going to be divided into the groups. One is Telegram, another one is WhatsApp. So some people don't do Telegram. So I'm creating that so that everybody can have access to these sessions, and they start in a few days. So cannot wait to see you there, to support you there. I'm going to leave this live here for a few more days. So feel free to send me a message, questions. If you have any questions at all, send me a message, and pay attention on my Instagram stories, because I'm going to start answering those questions in the stories, and then bring you lots of goodies as we are preparing for the immersion. So hope you have a beautiful day. Hope you enjoy this life and you got to start, making some shifts in those persecution codes. And if you're ready to go deeper, cannot wait to see you in our immersion. I love you, and I'll see you soon. Mwah. Oops.